Hey guys, it's Country Star here. I made an Arrowhead today. It's not finished yet. I had a mental picture of what I was making, so it's probably not perfect. But here's an actual Arrowhead that I have. And this is like my actual Arrowhead I have. I got it a couple years ago. This is the one I made, so it's not finished yet. It still needs a lot of work done to sharpen it. But I had an idea for making a bow and arrow. So the bow, I was thinking maybe you could make the string instead of looking for the actual like right string to use. Just I have this box cutter knife that I'm using apparently. Just to cut up the rubber bands. And it's not working too well. Once I can get this cut up. There it goes. And I think I'm just gonna use my pair of scissors I have. So you have this, right? You have rubber band. And you just cut up two right now. And you would tie them together, not too much. You would want maybe about that much. And you're gonna bring it over, just tie like you're tying a normal knot. This is tough because it's rubber, so it doesn't want to and then you're just gonna knot it. And once you do that, it's not working out for me. Okay. Yeah. And you would leave the stray ends. So, I mean, just those two tied together is going to stretch out like that. But you don't want enough that it breaks. And your bow and arrow is probably going to be about this long. So it might be more. It's definitely going to be more than what I have. So that's probably going to be about one there. And you're going to have it that is long enough that it's a bit of tension when it's actually tied to the bow itself. But not too much, because if you have too much, you're not going to be able to have much pullback on the bow. And it's going to break the rubber bands. So rubber bands probably aren't going to be what you should use for a bow and arrow, but it's an idea. And once you get this done, that one was a lot easier than the last one. I want to make sure it's tight because you would hate for it to come undone. So you want about like that much tension, just barely any. Like, you know, if you would loosen it, it's just going to fall back. Want it enough so that it looks like that, just perfectly straight. I'm probably going to need two more. I have one here. I might have to get another one. But it's an idea, so I can't have this video take too long because my parents are yelling at me to get a shower. And I'm just going to see how I'm going to do this exactly. I'll show you guys the Arrowhead up close again. That one was a really nice knot. Pretty easy there. Pull tight. Because when I was looking at it, it reminded me of like a leather strap almost. Whoops. And you have that. Almost looks like barbed wire kind of. Have it about that long. Yeah, you probably should use one more. So I gotta get one more out of my box here. Let's see useful having a first aid kit with rubber bands, am I right? I made my own, took my own box, wrapped it in duct tape so it's waterproof now. I'm just kidding, don't believe me. I mean, it could pass. Hang on, let me adjust the camera there. Piece of poop, it's not working. Just stay. Hang on. There we go. That was good. It's the paper's fault. Stay still. Hold on. Okay. This is really giving me a hard time. Oh, now you can see the box now. Okay, you know what? There. So, I hope you guys can see this all. I don't know how it's been, but you have that, and I got my one more here that I'm going to use. So 5 rubber bands is what I used. You can see the knot length that I've been using, like of just the ends. You really want to try not to use too much. If you use too much, you could end up with an issue of it being too short, and then you just have to use so many rubber bands. It's not really much fun. So once you can get that last knot tightened, you have it about, like when you're pulling on the tension a little bit, you have it about that long, which is about as long as you're gonna have your bow, depending on how big you would want it to be. But this was, I'm probably assuming this is probably about a regular size. And once you have it like this, I mean, you'd put on the arrow and just pull it back, which is nice because rubber bands have, you know, the rubber bands are pretty stretchy. As long as you don't stretch it too far. You stretch it too far, you broke it. There's not really second chances with this. And if you break like one piece, you have to pretty much redo the whole thing. Because you can't, unless you would cut up a rubber band so that it's a small enough piece that you just knot both ends together. But that would just take so much time, you might as well just redo the whole thing. But then you also have to take into, as a variable, you have to tie it on to the ends of the bow. So that's also going to take away from the length. That's why you can't just make it like just the size of the bow, because you're going to have to tie it on, and then you would have issues there. So, here's my like Arrowhead that I got a while ago, two or 3 years ago, and I think I got it for like $5 somewhere in South Dakota. And then here's the one I made, which needs a lot of work. You can see like the differences in this one is this one that I'm holding here is actually a bit bigger. This one's smaller, and this is just a piece of stone I found in a creek. But I took another stone, kind of grinded away at it, and it was a piece of stone like this big, and it was about that thick. And I found another stone that like looked like a wedge almost, and just chipped away at it. And I was taking off pieces, and I got it down to like about like that big, and then I just went from there. So what I still need to add to this one is to make the point sharper. I need to add the notches here, so you can tie it onto an arrow. And this is actually a Native American Arrowhead, so it's pretty cool actually. It is really sharp, and the tip is so fine, it's pretty fragile too. And this stone, I don't really even know what kind of stone this is, but it's definitely not the most durable stone. I mean, if I would take another rock and just hit it on the tip, it would just snap right off. Same with this probably, but that's actually really old. It's actually like not, it was just like dug up. It wasn't like made, but it's really old. And this is the one I made. So anyways, here's what your idea would probably be for the actual part of the bow. So I mean, just one piece has about that far, maybe a bit farther. And it's a lot of tension. I mean, if I could tie it to something, I don't have anything to really tie it to right now, but I have this. Hang on. Could wrap it around that. Give it enough that goes to the other side, and then close that in. If it stays there. Alright, it's pretty decently tight, but that's not going to stay very well, so I have to do that. You probably want to have that much tension, and so it's pretty good. And then I could do another video once I figure out how to make a bow, because I don't like watch YouTube tutorials on how to make this stuff. I mean, I've seen an Arrowhead, so I have a mental picture of it. It's not the Kansas City Chiefs logo. That's also an Arrowhead, but I mean, that's not the point here. And I had a mental picture, so I tried to do it the best I can with random stones I found by a creek. But that's all for this video. See you guys next time. Like and subscribe to the channel. That's all I have to say. I'll see you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.